Till one day we went to Coffs Harbour and we watched a qualifier game that the Matildas played. That was the first time she knew that the Matildas were there as a national team. And it wasn't until then that she thought she could go there. But at that stage then, and I only heard it later in an interview, years later, where she said, that's the time I thought, that's what I want to do. I want to get into the Matildas.
Of course, she loved sports, loved every kind of sport, and then being the youngest of 7, she had many older siblings that played lots of different sports, and she just loved the soccer. Her brother Rion played soccer, and she just loved playing soccer so much, and she was always there. And then it was sort of a natural thing just to join the boys' club and play with the boys, and at that time there weren't many girls.
My earliest memory of Tameka, well, the one that stands out the most, was at a carnival. I was coaching her brother, actually, her older brother, Rion. And I'd walk along the coach's box and I felt tugging on my shirt, and I looked down and here's this little blonde girl in pigtails asking, can I play, can I play? She was in full uniform from her game and she was attending her brother's game. So this went on for game after game. I approached her mum and dad. I relented in the end.
Tameka is a good sister. Me and her have always been good mates since growing up. I've really sort of appreciated having her there, and we've always gotten along, so it's been awesome having her around, and it's good that we're still so close.
My favourite footballing memory of Tameka would be playing against her for the national team. So when I played for New Zealand and Meeks played for Australia, we've been fortunate enough to get to play against one another, and I don't think many couples get to do that, so I think that's quite special.
Probably one of my favourite memories of Tameka is the first time she put on the green and gold and ran out for Australia.
I couldn't stop crying. It was just the most emotional time ever. I think I cried through that whole game, and it was just like surreal.
It's so important that little girls growing up nowadays have role models like Tameka. They can see that it's possible to be an elite athlete and have a family at the same time.
Yeah, I think it is really important, and yes, I've come across a lot of people who think of her as their hero, and it surprises me because we're humble people, she's humble, I know, and sometimes we'd be standing in a queue lined up and the people behind us are talking, and then all of a sudden Tameka's name's mentioned and they're talking about how fantastic she is, and I turn around and introduce myself and just find out a little bit more about them. Everybody's looking for their hero, something that they can set their sights on as a way they might live their own life, and you just hope that they're being good role models and setting a good example, and I believe Tameka is.
The thing that stood out most about Tameka was a great work ethic. It was wonderful. The training would finish after an hour and a half. Some of them would go on a little bit longer than I was meant to, or I'd have to coach another team, and she would still hang in there for extras. Every single training session she wanted extras.
Meeks is the kind of teammate that you always want on your team. You know, she's going to work so hard on the field and she's going to give you absolutely everything she's got. I think Meeks really epitomises the Matildas' never say die attitude. Every time she puts that shirt on, she gives it everything she's got.
The Matildas are waltzing into history tonight.
She's one that always puts the effort in. She's always very aware of what other people's needs are, being part of the team and being a team player.
The goals that she sets herself, she really goes out and commits to those goals, both as a player and in her own personal life.
I'm just so proud of the person she is, the person that she was and the person that she's become.
I'm most proud of Tameka because she works so hard in all aspects of her life. She really leaves no stone unturned and deserves all the successes that come her way.
The woman that knows how it's done is the captain, Tameka Yallop, earning her 100th cap for the Matildas.
Yeah, I mean, the feeling's pretty special. You don't do it every day, and not everyone can achieve it, so it's definitely something I'm quite proud of.